What's up, guys? It's Captain's Production 72 with a video. Yes, I know, I don't seem to make those often. But in this video, I'm answering a question that I get asked in live streams, I get asked it in shorts in the comment section, and I decided it kind of needed its own video. So, something I did that quite a few of you are quite fond of and a little bit nostalgic for, and some people who have joined the channel over the year have found and want more of, is my Mocs. So, for those in the live, I'd imagine if you're watching this, you're in the LEGO community, you know what Mocs mean. My own creation, but why I don't do them anymore, and why my content is now all about collecting sets and stuff, and whatever else I'm doing, like room tours and not uploading. Well, simply put, I've done two major mock building series. Now, that kind of old trend that was started by like Solid Brick Studios back in 2013 of building Kashyyyk. I think it was him that started it. Look, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments on stuff like that. And essentially, you know, week by week, and I've done two of these. I did a series called Building Florum in Lego back in 2018, right? And yes, I'm going to try and get some really poor screenshots from those videos. Or probably not, I don't know. And I then waited 2 years again, and I, did Building Christopsis, which is probably the better one that I did. It got more views, and I think it had more work put into it. Now, let's review the situation. So in 2018, due to my housing situation, I was sharing a room with other people. So I had the small bit of furniture, it was a Kallax, and I built it on top of that. I maybe had a budget of 30 quid, because I was 15 when I built that, and I wasn't earning any money. And, this YouTube, it's never been a job. And I built that. I built little things. I had Mini Mocs, which is a series that ran for maybe 10 episodes. I've done Mocs here and there. But people have been asking me to do major ones and big ones. So fast forward to 2020. During the pandemic, I did Building Christopsis. And I did actually spend some money on that. Not so much on the parts for it. I bought, the AAT from 2009 as a set that I wanted to use in that and whatnot. And that was a lot of fun. And there was 2 years between both of those videos. And I said something... Excuse me, yes sir. And I said something in the final episode saying I didn't want it to wait, 2 years to do another one. Here we are 6 years later, right? And the previous one was 8 years ago, which is crazy. And why have I never done it again? Well, first of all, things changed. In 2020, I was in a bigger room in a different house, and we had this table, right? And with that table, which was like a kitchen table, my family didn't want to use, it wasn't ideal. I used it for space, and then as my siblings got older, I had to drop to the smaller room of the house, and that's when the Mocs kind of just vanished. And people have often asked me, why they went away. Simple, it is just space. I could, if I really realistically wanted to, you can fit, I think, 2 base plates on a Kallax. Not Kallax, these are Ivars. And I could build something on these, yes, but my priorities have changed. See, back then, I was building Mocs and stuff as I'll bet my LEGO content, because I didn't have the budget to go buy LEGO sets, right? Collecting and displaying seems to be mostly what my content eventually turned into, and people often ask me what I would build if I could do a Mock series. Well, here's the answer. I want to do Tatooine, but I want to do like a giant Jabba's Palace, because that's one of my favourite and most nostalgic LEGO sets. Or I would do a giant Hoth Echo base. Like, I love the prequels. I have many sets from the prequels, but the original trilogy reigns supreme in my household. So, that's kind of the question. It's really just, it's space. And trust me, I would love nothing more. The ironic part was 2020, right? It was about a year before I started making my own money. And, if let's put this. I have never built a mock where I've went out and spent the money on parts, and it's a shame that I've never been able to do that. I would like maybe within the next 5 years or so to actually maybe do another one. And something I am actually working on doing is bringing back mini mocks. Those mocks were tiny, but they were decently detailed little mocks. And, it was something that was maybe, I don't know, the size of 32 by 32 base plate. I would like to do stuff like that, and I am in the works to getting that done, but unfortunately, space and situation is what changed those from happening. And I thought I'd make a video on this, but yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.